these are the three key elements to the job you were born for, is what are your superpowers? A superpower is something that you're particularly good at and enjoy. So think about that. What are you particularly good at and enjoy doing? That's your superpower. And I'm going to give you some examples. First of all, you just thought of yourself doing something particularly well, right? So that you might have some ideas from that last opportunity where we were looking within what you enjoy and what you do well. But people have all different superpowers. It's things that you're naturally good at. Sometimes people don't even know what they are because they do them so naturally. But you know you're good at them. So let me give you a few examples. First of all, it could be connecting with people. Some people have this ability to just meet people and connect with them right away, get people to trust them, get people to open up to them, right? And so that whole area around meeting people and opening and connecting. Some people are exceptional listeners. They really hear what's going on with the person. They're able to ask questions and assess and connect with the individual at a whole different level. So it could be listening. It could also be that you're someone that's really good at detecting problems. You see problems and issues, and you can identify them right away. You just see and you notice them. Maybe you have a really strong attention to detail, right? So again, I want you to jot down your superpowers on this page, and I want you to write lots of them down, okay? Because you have more than one. So it could be, again, attention to detail. It could be analysis and interpreting data and information. It could be thinking and anticipating problems. It could be coming up with incredibly new ideas and solutions, right? It could be endless possibilities. You could like to invent and think of new ways of doing things. What's your superpower? What are the things that you're particularly good at and enjoy doing? So I want you to write them down right now. I'm looking to see everybody writing down their superpowers. It's really important that you write this down because this is going to help you in life. Knowing what your superpowers are is going to bring you to the levels of joy and exceptional performance that you're here to do, you're here to experience. So what are your superpowers that you're particularly good at and that you enjoy? Now people say, wow, I'm really impressed with how you do this. Your ability to kind of MacGyver and figure things out. Your ability to solve problems on the fly. Your ability to stay calm and cool in difficult or challenging situations. We all have different unique superpowers. So again, I want to see you jotting down yours. Many of yours. Think about what you do at work and what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. Wow, you have a knack for. That's fun. When they say, oh, do this task, this job, come talk in front of 300 people. You're like, yes, yay, how fun. I love it. It's exciting. Nothing I'd rather be doing. That kind of feeling, like, yes. So I also want you to think about superpowers that perhaps are outside of what your everyday job or work is. For example, I found out one of my most recent superpowers is throwing parties. Who would have known? I'd like to throw parties. In fact, whether people come over, 30, 50 people, whatever, it's easy and effortless for me to do that. And I was talking to some other people, and they're like, hey, gosh, having a party is so stressful. You have to invite people over. You have to plan the food. And then I'm a nervous wreck the whole time it's going on. And I'm like, not me. It's fun and easy. Come on over. So there's things about you. You could be an excellent cook. You could be an excellent artist or whatever that is. That's also part of who you are. I want you in this exercise to put all of who you are, okay, on this paper, your superpowers, whatever that may be, whatever your special talents are. Artistic, creative. Because knowing that whole picture, we're going to bring that all in to your world, to your job that you were born for. Okay, second question. What environments feel alive and comfortable for you? And it's really interesting. Certain people feel differently in different environments, right? So for me, I love a fast-paced, energetic environment. I love it. When there's lots of things going on, when there's lots of people talking, lots of activity, that fires me up. That gives me lots of energy and excitement. Other people like quiet. They like peaceful. They like taking time, right? They like to do one task at a time. Everyone's different. So I want you to think about the kind of environment that you feel at home in, that you feel comfortable. And I'll give you some more examples as you're thinking about that. It was interesting. I have a colleague who was working for many years in like a public relations firm. And she did a lot of incredible graphics and design work and these fabulous creations. And when she was in her 30s, at some point, kind of late 30s, she decided, I want to go become a nurse. And I said, why are you making this career change? She was actually quite good in her other job. And she said, Eileen, when I walk through the doors of the hospital, I feel at home. I feel like that's where I belong. And I said, Karen, when I walk through the hospital, I feel like, oh, tight and closed, and I want to get out of there as fast as possible. And yet she feels at home and comfortable. And then she goes on to become an operating room nurse, right? And now she's like cutting people up, having operations, blood, all that. And I'm like, no, it's so clear. My being does not want to be in that, right? And she says, I love it. I feel calm. I feel confident in the operating room. I know what to do. And I know that I bring calm and expertise into that environment. So each of us have different kind of wiring, right, and DNA that makes us more comfortable in certain environments than others. It's fascinating, right? So, think about for you, what are these things? Sometimes it's visual, sometimes it's color, sometimes it's environment. As a consultant, I work in lots of different companies in all different industries. And I've always loved property management. I've always loved real estate. And I've been working with real estate companies for 30 years. And so one of the things for me is, when I walk out onto one of these properties, all of a sudden I feel comfortable and at home. And last week before I came, I stopped at your Point Loma property and I was walking around and I just felt like, yeah. And I'm like, I wanted to go into the leasing office and I wanted to step out to the pool area and I wanted to get a real feel, right, for the people at work here and the energy and how it feels. And I just love it. There's just something about it for me that feels comfortable, it feels alive. And then when I go to new developments and new development projects, and we'll look at some land, and we'll say, okay, well, here's what we're going to develop, and here's what we're going to add, here's how we're going to complement the community. I get excited about that, right? So why is it that some people get excited in one environment and others in another? Well, let's write down what gets you excited, what gets you enlivened, where do you feel at home and comfortable when you walk in? What is it about that? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Jot down some of these thoughts and ideas. I like having people around. I like being out in nature. I like to really kind of create, make things beautiful, whatever that may be for you that you enjoy. You want to create this positive, motivating environment. And one of the special things about being a leader, and all of you are leaders here today, is that you get to create this environment. Not only, right, do you choose what environment you want to be in, but because you are the leader, you can create and evolve a beautiful, energizing environment. So what environment gets you excited? Do you feel at home in? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like, yes, I'm here, it's right? And the third area is, what's your meaning or what's your purpose in life? Wow. So what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, it's really interesting. If you look back over your life, what has felt meaningful and purposeful to you? What has it been? And as I think back over my life, from the time I was a little girl, I liked to help. Okay, I was helpful. And I like to help my mom, right? Not all of our kids do that, right? What happened? I had 2 kids, it didn't happen for me. But I was just that person. I grew up, I was helpful. I helped my mom, I helped my family. Life continues, I helped people along the way. Then I started going into businesses and I helped leaders. And I helped teams, and I helped companies be more efficient and effective and profitable. And so that helping theme has been part of who I am. I like to volunteer, I like to help and assist, I like to do all these things, right? And so helping for me has been a thread in my life that's always felt meaningful and purposeful. And so think about for yourself, what is meaningful and purposeful? For other people, it's not helping, it's not their thing. They like to work on puzzles. They like to fix puzzles. They like to put puzzles together. They like to solve problems, right? Some people just really get excited about solving a problem, fixing a problem, solving a problem. Other people are excited about creating something new that's never been here before. That excites them. Coming up with the next wave, the next look, the next feel for what residential communities will look like and feel like. They're excited to work on the new technology. They're excited to work on the new vision, the new feel. Some people like to just, excited to create the next new garden, the next new grounds for the properties. That's exciting. That's meaningful. So, and decorating, right? All the different apartments and how that looks, and the fields, the clubhouses, all that. That gets them excited, to creating that new image. So for some people, right, it could be helping, it could be solving problems or puzzles that enlivens and excites them. For someone, it's creating something beautiful, inventing something new. So think about this for yourself. What is it that feels good to you? What do you do, and when you do it, you feel good? It feels like purposeful, meaningful. And that's where we bring in that moment at the end of the day when you go home and you're like, yeah, I did my job, I did it well, I enjoyed it, and it was purposeful. Because really, if you have these 3 key ingredients, which is knowing your superpowers, knowing what environment really kind of enlivens you and you feel at home in, where you can perform your best at an exceptionally high level and get results, and it feels meaningful, wow, that's awesome. That's it.